All right, we are here with the lovely Cody Jimenez and his beautiful, you have such a lovely take on realism.
Thank you.
I love it. I was looking through your art and just the colors and the way you capture art is beautiful. Walk me through making your piece for the show.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that. It was really nice. I've been painting for, I don't know, over half my life-ish. I play music. I've played music for, I think, even longer than that. And this opportunity came up, and it was kind of a perfect opportunity to kind of put artwork on a guitar. I just started doing that earlier in the year prior to this show happening. And so this opportunity came up. The design, which is on the back side, is the main design. There's a lot of like thumbnails and sketches of like something. I wanted something very pleasant to look at, something, good colors. I think something that came to mind was people like hummingbirds usually. They're just very majestic little birds. So that's kind of what I went with. And I wanted something more of I wanted a scene, but I wanted sort of a design element. So I created this kind of oval opening in the back of the guitar that, there's some bees and flowers coming through that opening, and you see into like the kind of the surreal clouds and behind the hummingbird there. Yeah.
We will flip it over. Don't worry, you'll see both sides. And you should come this Saturday and see both sides as well, because you have to get up close, because I've noticed you have the tiniest little bees, and you have the tiniest little detail, and the bees even have shadows underneath them. So I don't know, just your attention to detail is exquisite. Thank you. You're also an art teacher.
Yes.
Yeah. How long have you been an art teacher for?
That's a good question. 6 years, I think. I got my MFA from Laguna College of Art and Design in 2017. I didn't teach right away. It was a little daunting to teach in Southern California. It was very competitive, and I was very aware of that through just different peers of mine that had been teaching and bouncing all over. But I think I had been mentoring at the college, which is a little different. It's more one-on-one, so it is teaching, but it's less like curriculum and syllabus and classroom and making assignments. It's more just like talking about, professionalism in art, how to approach galleries, like different things like that. Some technical stuff like in painting. But then I think about a few years ago, 3 years ago, I started actually teaching in classrooms. First one was at Laguna College of Art and Design for the undergrad program. And it was painting one, so just kind of teaching people how to paint. It was really fun. Been doing that for a while. Now I teach at 3 different colleges now, so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of driving. But a few different places throughout Southern California. But it's a really fun time to be like try and be that influence that hopefully makes people have a good time in an art class and learn how to paint and hopefully pursue it. I think there's a lot of moments in art classes where it either makes or breaks somebody from wanting to pursue it, and I really try and be as positive and cheerful as I can to like be a good influence of like not somebody that tears a student down because they can't get something right after like multiple attempts. I've witnessed that, and I've heard a lot about that, and I try and be something good that can.
You're like, let me not be that person to kind of break your spirit. Yeah. Do you feel like you had that mentor in your life that kind of gave you that?
Yeah.
Uplifting moments throughout your art that was like, okay, cool, I know this is what I want to do, or maybe you had that moment where you're like, this is not what I want to do to people.
Yeah. It's I've had more of the positive than the negative, I would say. I don't think I've experienced many negative teachers, which is very fortunate. In my undergrad, it was at New Mexico State University. My painting teacher, Craig Coley, was just really nice. And I was horrible student. Didn't complete assignments on time, just all of that. But he just kept pushing me to do stuff. And even if I like completed it over the summer or whatever, I was just like notoriously slow at painting and getting things done. And just, yeah, it was, I don't know why he pushed so hard. What he saw in me at that time, I don't know. But yeah, he was a really good influence on me. And as I'm teaching more and more now, I think of him as my, like, what I experienced. So I try and do the same. And then most recently in grad school, I mean, most recently, that was like 10 years ago now. But F. Scott Hess, he's an artist, been based out of LA for a long time. Really big in like the late 80s, early 90s in LA art scene. Figurative work, narrative work. I feel like where all my color comes from now. He's very, if you look at his work, is very like bright, vivid pops of color like everywhere. And yeah, I just really took from him a lot of that and how he uses it like for psychological purposes and kind of aids the narrative of the artwork. And yeah, so that's what I do now.
Where did art start for you?
I would say just as a kid, just watching cartoons and just drawing the cartoon characters and like comic books and stuff like that. It's very just, I didn't see museums or artwork in person at all. It was very just like pop culture stuff. And by the time, I think my first real like museum visit was probably when I moved to Southern California 10 years ago. It was the first time seeing art in person, and it was just very, very different than like looking at art on phones or computer screens or magazines. So, yeah.
I know, and Southern California is such a mecca for art and museums and things like that too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
What's been your favorite, so your medium now is like paint and things like that. And what's been your favorite? Are you just sticking to that? Or are you doing other things with?
Yeah. I do charcoal drawings and graphite drawings as well. Some printmaking stuff. I've kind of done some sculpture as well. But I would say currently, I mean, it's like the last year and a half, 2 years, been focusing a lot on like guitar setups as well, because I've made my own guitars, not like, cut the wood or anything, but started painting on them and setting them up and like putting together all the components. And I feel like that's the thing I care about the most right now as far as creative wise. Yeah. Yeah,
because you said you do music too, so that kind of like goes hand in hand too. Mm-hmm. Are you in a band or anything like that? Are you playing?
No. My main like creative thing is just like making art.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as band, I don't have the time for it, unfortunately.
Art takes up your life.
Yeah, I would like to play more music. I play on my own, just write and record stuff. But yeah, finding the time to be around other people and have that commitment of like making music together is like, that's a whole thing that I know I don't have the time for, unfortunately.
That's a whole other art form.
Yeah.
Nice. So when you were younger and doing art and things like that, was there any person or something like that that really influenced you as far as like really moving into that art space or becoming a professional artist?
Yeah. Probably when I was younger, I would say my teacher, Craig Colley. That was really my first experience seeing somebody that made art and showed it like nationwide and everything like that. Before then, I didn't really understand that was possible. Like I said, I mentioned like comic books being an influence. I was like, oh, that's something you can do, where it's like you make it to varying degrees. Like it's different than like a classical painting or something like that. It's not like you do a classical painting per page. It's just you kind of do something quick to get kind of the story across of the comic. And yeah, that was the first time I saw somebody make work, and there was a whole story and like narrative, and he taught full time, and that wasn't really something I was like, oh, you teach full time. I was just like, oh, you paint, and that was like eye opening because I wasn't around other people. I'm from New Mexico, and it's just very different there than
It
out here,
is.
for
Yes.
sure. A much slower pace of life,
Where in New
different
Mexico?
economy. Las Cruces.
Okay.
So it's like
Where that's at?
southern. Yeah. And yeah, I wasn't around artists that showed. I saw a lot of stuff on Instagram, but that's stuff that's just like not attainable. I don't know how they do that, and yeah. So I think my first real life example was that my painting teacher. Yeah.
So what drove you to move to Southern California? Was it art
Yeah.
that brought you here?
Yeah. It was attending grad school here. I finished school and I wanted to keep painting. I have a child as well, so they're 15 now. At that time, they were like 5. So I wanted to keep painting. I had to be financially responsible, and it was either stay there and find some sort of full-time job and not paint as much and be miserable, or figure out how to keep painting, which was grad school. And so it just kind of took on the burden of student loans to kind of just keep painting at the program at Laguna College, because it was representational artwork, which is more like, artwork that is things as opposed to abstract or whatever.
Yeah.
That was one of the few programs. It was either there or New York, and here seemed a lot more attainable than living in New York.
A little closer.
Yeah, and funny thing, I never visited California prior to moving. I just moved.
Oh, really?
So it was really terrifying. And but yeah, it was art, and I was very adamant about wanting to do it, and it was a good choice because I still do it, and my life revolves around art, which is great, and I feel very lucky for that.
You're really brave, though. Like, people taking, like, you
dumb.
hear so many times. Well, no, I mean, it takes a lot of cojones to say, like, oh, I'm just going to take this leap and I'm going to get out of my box and my comfort zone, especially coming from New Mexico. I know it's a lot quieter, a lot slower pace out there. Yeah. So I think just kind of saying, oh, you know what? I'm going to really make this my end all be all and do it. That's huge. Be really proud of yourself, because that takes a lot, especially having a young child too and doing that.
Yeah.
That's huge. So be proud of yourself, my friend. That's a lot.
Good days I am. It's a big leap and crazy. On paper you write all that stuff down of the situation. It's just like, that was a fool's move, but it worked. It's working.
It pays off though.
Yeah.
We can't. I mean, without risk, there's no reward, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So if you could tell, going to that, like, on that route, what would you tell your younger self?
Yeah. Just don't waste as much time. I don't know. Especially through like COVID and stuff like that, I was just able to spend a lot more time on the craft of like the skills of art and music as well. And I just remember being a kid and there was a lot of time I could have done stuff, just honing in on a craft and becoming better, a lot earlier. I don't know if that would have helped like the impact of art, but that's something I really cherish about what I'm able to do and what I see in artwork. I probably wouldn't have had that good of a voice, so it would have been a lot of skill and no actual voice, but I think being able to do that when I had so much time and less responsibilities would have been beneficial, versus now when I'm trying to sneak in like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, between like teaching or something like that. It's frustrating to think back on that, but that's just, I didn't know any better then.
Life lessons though,
Yeah.
So you being a teacher and you have such an influence on these young artists and things like that, like what would you tell young artists starting out and artists that are like trying to find their path or trying to find like their way in the art world? What would you tell them?
Yeah. Just keep making work and don't try to have any, I guess just make work that is personal. That's usually the best work. In my experience, I've tried making things that have some grandiose meaning or whatever, and it usually falls flat. But the work that is more like about me or about my kid, that just things I'm thinking about, or people in my life, that tends to be better, just more impactful, more people relate to it in some sort of way, even though it is very personal. It's not like I'm writing the story of what happened on the canvas with words, but somehow the generalities of it work with other people.
Oh yeah, you can feel it. When it's genuine, you can feel it come across, like in the artwork, and you can see it come across.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah. So, what's next for Cody? What's your next big thing?
Yeah. I have a few shows coming up this year. There's a gallery in San Francisco that I'll be having. It's just a group show, but I'll have some work there. And then Portland as well. I feel like there's something else that I'm forgetting right
Saturday?
now. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Saturday?
Upcoming, for sure, Saturday. Yeah, just the OC Made Art Show at the Fullerton Museum.
Nice. Okay, and then a random question off the cuff. What is your favorite scary movie, sir?
Yeah. I would say, I think one of my all-time favorite scary movies, I like horror comedies a lot, but I also like creature design stuff, so I like a lot of different things. But I think my go-to is probably Idle Hands.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a really silly, dumb movie, but it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Nice. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
No pressure. So, okay, where can we find you?
Yeah.
Socials and things like that.
At Cody Jimenez Art on Instagram, and my website is codyjimenez.com.
Perfect.
Yeah. Can I turn this around?
Oh, yes, please. Let's turn it around. Let's see the back
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you have to see this beautiful design. It's beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
So take it all in. Come see Saturday night. All of it on display. You have to see it up close, so you can't just see it on this. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.